All right, guys, let's do this review thing here. Number 1 and 2 say find the focus directrix and focal diameter of the parabola and sketch the graph. Okay, don't forget the 4p is always opposite side of the square. There's 4p right there, which means 4p is negative 32, so my focal diameter is positive 32. Focus is 4p, is p away from the vertex, so p is 8, so let's go ahead and graph this thing. The vertex all week was 0, 0, so I'm going to go to 0, 0 from a vertex. The focus is 8 away, and because it's negative 32, is down 8 down there, so my parabola is going to look like this. My directrix is going to be 8 above, like that. So my focus would be the point 0, negative 8, and my directrix would be y equals positive 8. Let's go to the second one. Same thing here, except we got a y squared instead of an x squared. The focal diameter, of course, is just 5, because that's the 4p. So I come here and say, okay, 4p is 5 or negative 5, doesn't really matter. P is 5/4, so there's my p. Vertex is 0, 0. Because the 4p is with the x, it's going to open like the x-axis. And the focus is 5/4, which is 1 1/4 away. So my parabola is going to do that. My directrix is back here. So my focus is the point, negative 5/4, 0. And the directrix is not at y equals, but it should be x equals positive 5/4. And again, focus is to be inside. I went left because it was negative right there. Okay, if it had been positive 5, obviously we would have gone to the right. And that's that. Number 2, find the vertices, foci, all the stuff, major and minor, sketch the graph of the ellipse. Remember the equation of ellipse, we want to equal 1. So the first thing I'm going to do on this one is divide everything by 36. So x squared over 36, y squared over 9 equals 1. So my vertices, let me blow this up a little bit. My vertices, I'm going to go positive 6 and negative 6 on the x-axis because of the 36. I'm going to go up 3 and down 3 on the y-axis because of the 9. So my ellipse is going to look like this. That's not a very good ellipse. So my vertices are on the major axis, and they are at the plus or minus 6. My vertices are plus or minus 6 and 0. The major axis, I went 6 left, 6 right, that's 12. The minor axis, I went up 3, down 3, that's 6. To find the foci, I got to find c. Remember, c squared is a squared minus b squared, so I'm going to go 36 minus 9. So c squared is 27, which means c is plus or minus 3 on 3. So my foci are always on the major axis. They're going to be at plus or minus 3 on 3 and 0. Eccentricity, remember c over a. So I'm going to go 3 on 3 over a, which is 6, by the way, which gives me square root of 3 over 2. Let's go ahead and do a decimal for there. I need to get my calculator real quick. Let's put a decimal for eccentricity, because that's what we did this week. Square root of, let's see, 3 divided by 2. I'm getting like 0.866 for eccentricity. All right, let's do another one of those. This one, I'm going to divide everything by 144 and get x squared over 12 plus y squared over 144 equals 1. Let's blow this up again so we can graph it so you can see a little bit. Okay, so y I'm going up to 12. That didn't quite fit on my graph. Down to negative 12. X, I'm going square root of 12, which is like 3 point something, and negative 3 point something. So I'm drawing my ellipse. It's going something like that. That may be worse than the last one. So my vertices are on the major axis. The ends of my major axis there at 0 plus or minus 12. My major axis, I went up 12 and down 12, so I went 24. The minor axis, I went right square root of 12. By the way, the square root of 12 is really 2 on 3. So I went right 2 on 3 and left 2 on 3. So altogether I went 4 on 3. To find the foci, I got to find my c squared. So I'm doing a squared minus b squared, large minus small. That gives me 132. The square root of 132, that's 11 times 12. Let me break that down real quick. Yeah, it's 4 times 33, so it should be plus or minus 2 on 33. So those are my two foci. The foci are always on the major axis, so I'm going 0 and 2 plus or minus. Plus 0, 2, golly, 0 and plus or minus 2 on square root of 3. Eccentricity c over a, so I'm going c over a. A was 12, so I'm going to punch in square root of 33. Divided by 6, yeah, by 6. So I get 0.9574 from eccentricity. Number 4, find an equation of the parabola. So we're going backwards here. You need to draw a picture for sure. This one says, there's your vertex, and the focus is 0, 2, which is up there, which means the parabola has to open up, by the way. Because it opens up, the 4p is in front of the y, and the x squared is over here. Now my p is how far it is from the vertex to the focus, which in this case is 2. So I'm going to put a 2 in for that p right there. 4 times 2 is 8, so I'm getting 8y is x squared. And there it is. Number 5 and 6, find the sequence. If sequence is convergent, find its limit. If not, explain why. This one is convergent, and you can tell by checking to see if it has a horizontal asymptote. This one does. So I'm going to say the limit as n. Let's use n. I think we used n this week. N goes to infinity. I'm going to divide everything by the biggest degree, which is n to the first power. So I get that right there. Split it up here. And when we split it up, I'm going to simplify those things. So I get the limit as n goes to infinity of 5 in my numerator. In my denominator, I'm getting 1 plus 5 over n, which gives me 5 over 1 plus 0, which is 5. That's what it converges onto. Number 6 is also convergent because it has a horizontal asymptote. The bottom degree is bigger than the top. So I'm going to go the same deal. The limit as n goes to infinity of 1 over n squared plus n over n squared, n over n squared, plus n squared over n squared. It's a bunch of n's. Let's break that down into 2 pieces. Can't break that down at all. You can simplify the second fraction. My denominator is going to be 1 over n and then plus 1. So I'm getting 0 plus 0 over 0 plus 1, which is 0 over 1, by the way, which is 0. Number 7, find that limit. Absolute value. Remember, absolute value. This is a good one, a good review from the past. So I'm going to, with absolute value, got to do 2 cases. You got to go from the left. What if the absolute value is negative? Well, if it's negative, you get the opposite of what's inside, which would be the opposite of 2z over z. Those z's would cancel. It will leave you negative 2. And you must also come from the positive side. If I come from the positive side, if 2z is positive, the absolute value is itself over z. The z's cancel. It's 2. And because I got different numbers for my 2 limits, the true limit does not exist. Number 8, graph, and that's all the things. All right, so first of all, I'm gonna factor this top right here. So I got x minus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so my vertical asymptote is whatever makes the bottom 0. Horizontal asymptote. This time the degrees are the same, so I'm doing leading over leading. Y equals 2. My x-intercept is whatever makes the top 0, which is 1. My y-intercept, if you put zeros in for all the x's, you get negative 2. That's what I'm going to graph right there. So I'm going to graph my vertical, which is at negative 1. I missed. Let me try that one more time. Sorry about that. A little better. Horizontal is at y equals 2. Boom. My x-intercept is at 1. My y-intercept is at negative 2, which means part of the graph is down here. Plug it in your calculator. You find out that the other part is right up there. And there's number 8. Number 9. Suppose you invest $55,000, account to pay 6% interest per year, compounded monthly. How long will it take for it to double? Okay. So if you double $55,000, you end up with $110,000. Starting with $55,000, going 1 plus r over n, which is 0.06 over n. N is monthly, which is 12 times. And my exponent is 12 times t. Trying to find out how long it takes. First step is divide by 55,000, which gives you 2. And also let's work out what's in this parentheses right here. I'm getting 1.005 to the 12t power. Let's do natural log both sides or log both sides. Doesn't really matter. Exponent goes in the front. Get to there. Now my next step is I'm dividing. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing here. I'm doing natural log 2 divided by the natural log of 1.005. And then I get that answer. I'm dividing that by 12 because it's 12t, and I get 11.6 years. And there's that one. Number 9, number 10, one more to go. Here we go. Number 10, expand that to the 5th power, which means I'm going to get 6 terms in my answer. My coefficients are 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. Got that from my calculator. So I go 3x to the 5th power, because there's a minus sign, minus 5, 3x to the 4th, the 2 starts coming up, plus 10, 3x cubed, the 2 starts coming up, minus 10, 3x is now squared, the 2 is now cubed, plus 5, the 3x, and 2 is to the 4th power, and then minus 1. So my first term, 243x to the 5th, just multiplying all this stuff out. So I got to go 5 times 3 to the 4th times 2. I'm getting 810 x to the 4th plus 10 times 3 cubed times 2 squared, 1080 x cubed minus 10 times 3 squared times 2 cubed, 720 x squared. Almost there, hang in there. 5 times 3 times 2 to the 4th, getting 240, and then minus 1. And there you have it. And hope that helps. One more test to go. I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.